there, it's Kelly from Kelly Lee Creates, and welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, I do tutorials on hand lettering and design. And so today I have a tutorial for you. I'm going to show you how to use Procreate, an intro to Procreate. Basically, Procreate is a design app for the iPad Pro, and it completely transformed the way I do hand lettering. If any of you know me very well, you know that I love to hand letter, and in the beginning I used paper and brush markers, but when I got my iPad Pro, I got it specifically for hand lettering and specifically for this app. So today I want to show you an intro to Procreate and where the tools are and a basic overview of how to use some of them. So when you open your iPad Pro and then open your Procreate app, this is the screen that you're going to get. This is your gallery. If you're just starting out in Procreate, all this is going to be empty. So in order to create a new document, you're going to come up here to the plus sign and create a new canvas. You can choose from screen size, square, 4x6, and you can also make your own dimensions. Like I created one for Instagram right here. And to do that, you just click this icon right here and you can enter your own dimensions. But for right now, I'm just going to go to screen size. Okay, so this is your document. Now we're going to start here in the upper right hand corner with these items. So this is your brush panel right here, and it's just a little paintbrush icon. So if you click on it, you have all the different brushes that come with Procreate, the defaults. And it starts here with sketching and inking and drawing, and there's just so many different brushes that come free with Procreate. Now the ones that I have at the top here, these are brushes that I have purchased from designers, but you definitely do not need to use these in order to, you don't need to buy specific brushes in order to start out with Procreate. I would suggest starting out, with just the basic brushes that Procreate has, and just kind of play around with them and see which ones that you like. I really like this brush pen under calligraphy, this brush pen and this script pen. They're really good for hand lettering. So that's the brush library. And then this icon right here, the two squares, if you click on that, that is your layer panel. And these layers work pretty much the same as layers in Photoshop or Illustrator. So if you draw on one layer, and then if you click this button right here, this plus sign, it adds another layer. So then if I have that selected and I make another drawing, then I can turn these layers on and off, and I can edit them independently of one another. So I can move this layer around and not mess with this other layer on the bottom. So layers are your friend, and you want to use a lot of them when you are drawing your designs, because they will really help out if you have to edit something, like one portion of your design, and you don't want to destroy another portion. So if you want to delete a layer, you just swipe to the left and hit clear. Okay, so you got your brushes, you got your layer panel, and then right up here is the color picker. And if you tap on that, it gives you your color palettes. Now, again, there's a lot of color palettes that I have added, that I have created. Procreate comes with some basic color palettes, but you can always use your own color palettes by coming down here. There's palettes, value, harmony, classic, and disc. And so this is, let's see, what did I just do there? Okay, let's start with disc. So under the disc, you can move this around, and this and change your color. And when you move it, see the color changes up here, and that's always the color that you're currently on. So then if you move it over here, then it changes to purple, and then if you want a yellow-ish, and then you can like refine it a little bit in there. So that's the disc. Under the classic, I really don't use this very much. You can adjust the colors like so. Harmony, this is new to Procreate 5, I believe. It's just another way to pick colors. What I really like is this value menu right here, because if you have a specific color that you need, a specific hex code, you can enter it right here. So I have my brand colors down here, and what I did is I entered my specific hex codes right there, and then you just add the palette right there. So in order to add a new color palette, all you do is click this icon right here, and that adds a new one for you. And then you just, you just tap a color and tap right in there. And then you go, if you want another color, say I want an orange, like so, change it to orange, go back here, under palettes, and tap right there. And you can create your own color palette that way. And then if you want to delete a color palette, again, just swipe left and hit delete. All right, so basically that's all I'm going to cover up there. Actually, this is your eraser tool, so it's the opposite, obviously, of your brush tool. And you can change you can set a brush for your eraser as well. So say you're using a monoline brush right here to draw. And then if you hit this eraser tool, you come in and erase. However, you probably can't see that right there. There we go. And what I did here was right here on this side, this is the tool to increase and decrease your brush size or your eraser size. You just slide it up and down. So if we slide it all the way up, the brush is really big. And then slide it down, same brush, different size. Down here, this is your opacity slider. So this changes the opacity of the brush. So again, let's just delete this. Okay, so opacity, this is the highest opacity. And then if you just slide it down a little bit, it gets lighter and lighter as you slide it down. All right, so this little square right here in the middle of these two sliders is the color picker tool. And if you have a, say you have a document that you've been, let's put this opacity up. Say there's, a document that you've been creating, or say you have imported a document or a file and you want to know what this color is, the exact color of, let's say, this orange. You can click over here on this tool, this color picker tool, and then just drag the circle over and it'll show you exactly what color it is up here. It'll pop up. Same thing, drag it down to the green. You see this changes green, and then drag it down to the pink and it changes pink. So this is really good if you're working with some designers offer color palettes that you can import into Procreate, and that's how you use their color palette and then see exactly like what color it is so you can build your own color palette from it. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of most of these and these tools. Okay, so over here at the top, you have different icons. You have a wrench icon, looks like a magic wand right here. This is your selection tool, and this is also a selection tool. So we'll start right here with this arrow. So for this is a selection tool. So say you have, have your drawing right here. And this selection tool selects the entire layer that you're on, and you can move it up and down. You can flip it vertically, horizontally, rotate it with these buttons down here, reset, like so. So that is your selection tool, and it selects everything that's on one layer. So this tool right here is a selection tool as well. But this tool you can take and draw around a specific shape or line, and then you can click on that tool, the arrow tool, and move it. Now these are still all on the same layer, but you're only moving one thing on the layer. So that's how you can manipulate things on one layer without destroying or disturbing the other things on the layer. Use this tool right there. Okay, then this magic wand tool right here, this is a little bit advanced. You can set the opacity of your layers. You can do blurs. I don't use this a whole lot. I use it to blur some of my layers if I'm making like a 3D image, but that's about it. That's a little bit more advanced. But with this wrench icon right here, this is the last one I'm gonna go over. So under here, under the wrench, you have a bunch of different actions that you can take. You can, this is this plus icon, you can add a file, a photo, you can add text, you can cut and copy. Under the canvas, you have all your different options for your canvas. This animation assist right here, Procreate 5, you can create animations, which is really cool. You have a drawing guide where you can turn on a grid and also draw things symmetrically, like vertically or horizontally. You can flip your canvas. This right here is another thing that I like, a video. If you have this time-lapse recording on right here, Procreate will record what you're doing on your document. So then you can hit this time-lapse replay and it will play back what you have created in time-lapse format. So this is really good if you want to post something to Instagram or Facebook and show people like behind the scenes of what you're doing. I really like that feature. Now the last button, oh, and right here you can export that time-lapse video right there so you can share it. The last button that I'm going to show you is this share button right here. So you can share your image, you can save it or send it to your laptop as a PSD, PDF, JPEG, PNG, TIFF, or you can share just specific layers, and here you can export anything if you've created it as an animation. So that is basically it for the basics of Procreate. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe so you get notifications of every new video. And you can also follow me over on Instagram at Kelly L Creates, where I share all my hand lettering. Thanks for watching.